Lahens, so he can't really afford to step up on the wave without the rest of his team, who are now arriving. Observers showcase the amount of darkness that Gen G see. Lahens going to be the one to face check.
Yeah, the Leona walks forward. Busio jumps over the wall with a combo as FlyQuest looks to put some DPS into Leona, but it ain't gonna be enough. A lot of damage back into Inspired. Crescent sweep to barely stay alive.
Oh,
and Lahens is down. Whippo over the wall. About to jump into our Champion Select powered by Omen and HyperX to find out who is our last team moving forward to semifinals.
For us today.
Obviously, as a commentator from North America, my heart's here for FlyQuest. I think very high presence and very effective so far at Worlds.
We got to remember that Gen G haven't shown a huge amount at this year's World Championship. And they're keeping things secret. Inspired, playing with the crowd a bit as he hovers over the Nunu.
You're looking at FlyQuest. You're looking at a team who has not had strong early games so far, so you're probably not as worried about allowing that Jinx the time to scale up.
Because
really
this obviously is a champion that you can flex around, and it
Okay.
is. So it's Seraphine mid for quad, so they keep the option open here. Excited to see how FlyQuest will perform, and if Gen G will look like the absolute dominant team that we are expecting them
He's had
to.
an incredible trajectory from amateur to academy to pro play, now playing on the quarters final stage against what myself and many other people would consider the best team in the world.
I mean, this is such a great opportunity for FlyQuest to try to make something special happen here. You know, Masu has been incredible, and his trajectory has been pretty amazing to see. You know, you said it, amateur into academy last year, won Most Valuable Prospect, the MVP award in the NACL. This year comes in the LCS. He's Rookie of the Year. He goes to MSI. He goes to Worlds. He wins Summer Split. You can't really do more than that. You can't ask for more than that. And Whippo here is going to get his ward cleared out, so Keen will have that little bit of an experience advantage.
Fade hanging out here in this brush, but the ward nearby for Gen G is already set.
I wonder if FlyQuest was expecting the lane swap to come through, or if their plan is to initiate the lane swap themselves, because they tracked Lahens and Pays moving towards the top side of the map, and now with this delayed invade, they're looking to try and find a punish onto Canyon, but they're not going to find it.
No, they're actually playing around vision so intelligently. They're going to start topside, and there's no vision on this from Gen G. Now Canyon's going to get the news here, and Whippo's going to try to push him off while we have their jungler actually trying to take the blue buff. Canyon, though, should be able to finish this and then just move across.
Yeah.
Whippo got 1 CS from that. He did get the 1 little wolf, so these members of Gen G, as they try to bypass him and attack these carries. So we'll have to see, as the wave has been stacked, and it is Whippo here being covered by Inspired.
Okay, 2
Canyon's
versus
coming
3
as well.
defense right now. Canyon making his way down.
He's going to go back. They're going to call
Okay.
up the dive.
FlyQuest avoided.
Small things to try to really wait for their moment.
And I guess the question now that I'm wondering then is, when will that moment be? With the grub spawning here in a couple of seconds, it could just be that handshake trade on neutral objectives early that we see a lot of the times. FlyQuest could opt to go for the Drake, but it does look like they're at least putting a couple bodies in the area. Gen G, first to the grub pit. Canyon will smite grub number 1 to at least guarantee that Gen G will get that one, but now Inspired making his way over, and it looks like FlyQuest will maintain control over the topside river. Gen G are happy to just take the single grub and back away, so FlyQuest will come out on top in this one.
Now to viewers, it may seem confusing as to why Gen G's just backing off of that. They were first in the objective, they had Keen pushing in the top lane, but the healing, I've forgotten the words of them now.
Honey fruits.
That's what I'm looking for.
I
Thank you,
gotcha.
Flowers. And
I
here we
gotcha.
go.
Okay, FlyQuest are first into the pit, but Gen G is ready to respond. Keen over the wall, ready to drop the equalizer if need be.
TP mids.
Canyon ready to start taking aggro here a little bit as the equalizer comes down. Inspired, already gonna lose half HP. Chovy jumps in, not gonna find the charm. Immediately engaged, coming up from Busio. First blood over to FlyQuest, and Chovy is down. Seraphine ulti roars over the top, and Gen G has lost 2 men. FlyQuest just killed 3 of them, and they're gonna hit 4 grubs too.
FlyQuest wiped Gen G off the map, crushed the first team fight. They get the 4th grubs, and they didn't even need Whippo. He was pushing mid to actually get the tower damage down, and FlyQuest opened up a massive game 1 lead.
Skirmishes, and with an Ashe to help support that, they've moved the Ashe around to gain early control over the grubs and the dragon. An ulti will come through in a bit.
Quad's in a little bit of trouble here as Lahens jumps in. Canyon over the wall wants to try to join up, but it ain't gonna matter. Lahens is already down, and a beautiful move from Inspired, using the ulti to knock the enemy Skarner back. Now Whippo's ready to make a grand entrance. FlyQuest, check them at the door.
A haphazard force from Gen G means that FlyQuest get themselves another 2 kills.
Bro maybe has the nameplates on, thinks it's going to be an easy game, and he is over-forcing mid lane there.
Flowers.
It's Gen G!
But
They're 46-3 this year in series, Benny!
if you turn the nameplates off, they're struggling right now.
Well, Busio's coming in for the wraparound. They want to go after Chovy. They don't find what they're looking for, and FlyQuest might have got a little over-eager. The tier 1 turret still standing as Keen drops the equalizer. Busio's got to be careful. Amasu's about to die. He flashes away as Keen wants to chase him down. FlyQuest on the retreat. They nearly toss it away, but Gen G won't get a kill. Rift Herald still on the map, 17 minutes into the game, and Gen G is going to head over.
So the priorities there, I think FlyQuest overforced on the mid lane tower. Gen G responded very well, reading the play from FlyQuest and responding with 5, leveraging the strength of the tower and the mobility of Chovy to find a re-engage, and even if they don't get any kills, they secure themselves the Rift Herald, which is crucial to help them unlock this mid tower.
And critically, Keen is able to trade his flash for the cleanse and the flash of Masu. So Masu is in so much danger now in this next potential fight. FlyQuest do get the mid lane tier 1, so the trade right now I think is totally fine for them. May not be enough, so they have to be really careful about his positioning.
Pays though wisely, showing respect on the mid wave, the Ashe Arrow, the Seraphine ulti. There are a lot of tools to catch Pays out, even with his cleanse, so he can't really afford to step up on the wave without the rest of the team, who are now arriving. Observers showcase the amount of darkness that Gen G see. Lahen's going to be the one to face check.
Yeah, but Leona walks forward. Busio jumps over the wall with a combo as FlyQuest look to put some DPS into Leona, but it ain't going to be enough. A lot of damage back into Inspired. Crescent sweep to barely stay alive.
Oh,
and
no!
is down. Whippo over the wall goes in for a massive multi-taunt, and Keen's thrown up into the air. Inspired escapes the death rocket, but now they're dragging FlyQuest back. Whippo's first to die, and Pays continues firing, and Chovy wants another. Canyon steers back away.
Allows them to get a kill back here. Whippo feeling it. And when he is having fun, when he is in this kind of mood, that's when he's playing his best. So they're actually setting up around this top side. They're making it very difficult here for Gen G as they have this line of pink wards, you know, pink ward there, pink ward there, pink ward behind them as well. They're trying to constantly be able to threaten if there's an overcommitment towards the dragon. Hey, we could actually trade for a Baron. We're in a position where you get very little for one dragon, and we could win out big. So FlyQuest playing so well. He has the Kraken. He's trying to get more, and they know they need to be as strong as they possibly can, as you said, before this fight, because if FlyQuest gets Soul, that's very likely the game for Gen G.
TP coming in here for FlyQuest side. Let's see if they really want to make a move.
Whippo's behind them. Whippo's behind them.
Using the charm, trying to stuff the engage here. Pays wants to get away. Seraphine ulti flying over the top. Whippo trying his way to Pays, but the game barely gets away. FlyQuest continuing forward, but a nice equalizer from Keen tries to stop him. Canyon shot to pieces, and Whippo wants more. FlyQuest with a 1-for-0, but that one is the enemy jungler.
A phenomenal flank from Whippo almost sets up the kill onto Pays, but it wasn't quite enough damage. But the damage might be enough as Canyon falls. The Baron is on the cards, and FlyQuest are turning their attention towards it.
Exactly. They don't get Pays, but they do get Canyon. 20 seconds now with no jungler here. Chovy in the area, but I don't think they have the tools to contest. There's no equalizer. They're coming anyway.
The only ulti left on Gen G is Pays with the Super Mega Death Rocket. There is no Spirit Rush. There is no equalizer. Whippo looking to wrap around Gen G as they come to try to challenge for the Baron. Keen on the back side of the wall, but immediately Busio's going in to try to stop him. FlyQuest making their move. Whippo's into the back line. They found Pays, but there's no follow-up. Busio's already dead, and Whippo goes to rejoin the rest of the team. FlyQuest will claim the Baron, but they have to trade Busio for it. So Gen G will now get the tier 1 turret mid and stop the Soul as a response.
Soul that's there for the rest of the game, and instead they go for the Baron. If they don't get a ton with this, that's 3 bounties that were given over off of the lost fight because they had to sacrifice Busio. They need to push the pace. They need to get so much with this Baron, or it really wasn't worthwhile. Ezra as well struggles that much more with all the shielding plus the Mountain Soul.
The pressure is on with 45 seconds to go until the 5th Drake of the game spawns. FlyQuest wants to maintain control over this bot side river as Gen G are grouping up in mid, trying to get the wave shoved out. And then they'll have to approach. As now over the wall, Chovy gonna get grabbed. The Seraphine ulti flies out, but Chovy's able to dodge away. Now Busio continuing to move forward as Canyon survives. No real sincere pressure on Gen G. It's the Seraphine ulti of Quad. It's that arrow from Masu, but Chovy's ult is the price Gen G has to pay for it.
He has to spend his flash as well. So now Chovy, no flash, no ulti. You know, it could be worth it for this next fight, though.
Whippo going in, looking for a taunt, but he's not going to find it. Would have only been Canyon and Lahens anyway, the tanky members of the Gen G squad. FlyQuest and Gen G still staring each other down. Keep your eyes on Lahens. The Leona is the engage here for Gen G as FlyQuest make their way into the bot side river. They're going to go ahead and start that Drake up. It's already down to half HP. Canyon's getting zoned out. Equalizer into the back line as Quad sidesteps away from the solar flare. Dragon's still the focus coming out from FlyQuest. The troll is secured. And now they're turning it right back on the Lahens and Canyon. The Leona tries to flash away, but it ain't going to work. Masu chases him down. Buzio trying to keep going forward with Whippo as they lock up the carries. They beat down Pays. And Gen G falls. Chovy trying to hold the line. Trying to buy time, but it costs a hell of a lot, and FlyQuest are barreling towards the base. A beautiful stop on the recall from Masu.
What a fight from FlyQuest. Heavy is the MSI crown, and Gen G are crumbling under its weight.
Solo laners versus FlyQuest. Keen and Chovy trying to hold on, but another Seraphine ulti flies out, and Chovy drops dead. Keen pushes forward and finally claims Buzio, but it's only a 1-for-1. Game number 1 is about to end as FlyQuest lead the series.
Doubters be damned. FlyQuest are here to play.
What were the elements of this FlyQuest upset?
So I think it was a huge draft gap. And it was one of the vulnerabilities I might have seen in Gen G before this. When I saw their last 2 games against HLE in the Swiss stage, they picked hard engage with their top 3 almost regardless of the competition. And then FlyQuest very quickly locked in the Seraphine. The fact that Gen G then matched double AP with Skarner immediately says they're going to have extremely low damage. So picking a Galio top and then knowing that the Seraphine is a flex, which I think caught Gen G off guard, is actually one of the most Smurf 1-2-3 advantages we've seen this entire tournament.
Are you Blitzcrank Quad?
No, it's just Korean style mic check.
Oh.
Blitzcrank is Korean?
Yeah, I think so.
Immediately engaged coming up from Buzio. First blood of the FlyQuest and Chovy is down. Seraphine ulti roars over the top, and Gen G has lost.
This guy's good. Anything? No flash. Starter, no flash. Ivy. He does.
Don't play team. I want to flash in, okay?
Jinx up top.
Jinx, no flash, no cleanse, no flash, no cleanse.
Dead.
We can go mid, no?
Yeah, we can go mid. We can go mid.
Go mid.